Hey everyone, Bryn Blaze here with ElevationGuild.com. Welcome to this deep dive, in-depth review of Hyperfund Global. Many of you have been asking for me to review this. We're going to unpack it, go behind the scenes. I'm going to share with you an objective analysis so that you have everything you need to know to make an informed decision on whether or not you should allocate some risk capital to this project. As always, if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button so that you can stay in the loop with these reviews and take advantage of all of my due diligence and research as I scan the marketplace to find viable products and opportunities to invest in. So what exactly is Hyperfund Global? If you've done any amount of research up to this point, it may feel like you're drinking from a fire hose because you're going to hear a lot of names thrown around. Hypertech Group, Blockchain Global, Hyperfund, Hypercommunity, Hyperdrive, Accelerated Rewards. There's a lot of terminology here, and we're going to unpack the intricate web. And a picture paints 1,000 words. I'm going to give you an organizational chart and show you exactly how all of these corporations and all of these structures are actually interwoven and how they work together. So that's going to be very beneficial to you. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be diving into everything from the compensation plan to the current performance of certain tokens and cryptocurrencies that are associated with the different projects. We're going to dive into the founders. We're going to see how it all works. Where exactly are the funds coming from? Is there any evidence of that? Has there been any audits? Is there smart contracts we can interrogate transparently and openly on the blockchain? I'm going to show you the type of traffic that it's getting right now, the amount of hits to the website, what countries it's popular in. So we're going to go deep, my friend. If necessary, we're going to add a part 2 to this video. And please, if there's anything that I leave out, I'm always open and willing to update my opinions in the presence of new information and new facts. So anything that you think I should know about, if you're on the inside, please leave that information in the comments below this video, and I'd be happy to do an updated version of this review. So in a nutshell, Hyperfund Global and Hypercommunity can be described as an incentivized passive rewards program built around a network marketing or multi-level marketing distribution model. So in a sense, it's a peer-to-peer marketing arm of the Hypertech Group. So when it comes to contributing risk capital to the fund of Hyperfund, there are 3 tiers of contribution. Those are 300, 500 and 1000 USDT. And you can use any combination or any multiple, and there is no ceiling, no cap on your contribution. For those of you that may not be aware, USDT is a tethered stable coin, so it's pegged to the value of the US dollar to prevent fluctuations and exposure to the volatility of the cryptocurrency market, so that when you're moving your funds around, you know, it's stable. For those of you that are confident in the stability of the US dollar. Along with your contribution comes the Mars Academy, which is in-depth blockchain and crypto education course. But then your contribution, you're going to receive a minimum of fixed amount of 0.5% daily on your contribution, all the way up to 2 to 3 times return over a period of 600 days. So this is what you may refer to as a promise to pay program, where you put a large amount of capital up front and then they basically drip feed it back to you over an extended period of time. In my personal experience, whenever I've seen a guaranteed fixed return, none of those programs have survived more than 5 years ever. In fact, if you're currently in a program where they give you a guaranteed fixed daily return that's been around for more than 5 years, please let me know in the comments below. As far as I know, it does not exist. To be honest, I mean, it's possible to get 100x returns in the cryptocurrency space. We've all seen it. Coins, tokens, if they're diversified, invested in many things, it's absolutely possible. But to give a guaranteed return, let's be honest, nobody has a crystal ball, nobody can predict the future. So if we enter a crypto winter, how can this be sustained? But let's not let that cloud our judgment. Let's continue with rational, objective analysis here and give them the benefit of the doubt and proceed until we've fully researched the entire project in this video. So you can see one of the benefits here mentioned of being part of Hyperfund Global is to get private pre-sale access to tokens in their early stages. So it's like a private investment round. So here's a simple 3-part explanation of the Hyperfund Rewards program for the passive member, someone that isn't referring people. You purchase your tiers 300, 500, 1000 or any combination in USDT. I believe both ERC20 and TRC20 is supported. That means both the Ethereum and the Tron network. And your rewards are going to be paid out in HU, the Hyper unit. Again, that's their internal utility token that has a stable value, where a one-to-one parity, which means that one HU, one Hyper unit, is equivalent to $1. Therefore, your rewards that you're getting paid on a daily basis from your packages are not exposed to the volatility and the fluctuating price of certain cryptocurrencies. So depending on your contribution and the membership you come in at is obviously going to determine how much you're earning on a daily basis if you're earning 0.5%. So as those accumulate, as long as you hit the minimum threshold of 50 HU, you're able to make a withdrawal. You could then convert those rewards, which remember are represented in HU, which is a one-to-one parity with the US dollar. You can convert them over to Molecular Future, for example. And we're going to go to CoinMarketCap. I'm going to show you the exchanges and show you where you can go to stay updated to the crypto exchanges that are supported. So I'd like to correct some inaccurate information that was mentioned in some other reviews here on YouTube, videos that have been around longer than this one. They claimed that you were vulnerable and exposed to the value of Molecular Future when you have to liquidate your rewards by coming through that token. However, if you think about it, your rewards are fixed because they're in parity to the US dollar. Therefore, you're converting those and liquidating those rewards in real time. So it's coming through whatever the real time value of the Molecular Future token is. Therefore, you're not exposed to the volatility because you're not holding this token. However, if you were bullish on Molecular Future, there's certainly no shortage of liquidity. It's performing quite well. As you can see at the time recording this video, it's in one of the top 300 coins in the world on CoinMarketCap. The market cap is over 157 million and the 24-hour volume at the time of this video, over 28 million. So there's going to be no shortage of liquidity whenever you decide to sell your rewards, or you could simply hold this token if you were bullish on it. You can see it caught a decent uptrend recently and gained a lot of value. So if you ever want to see at a glance the crypto exchanges that support this token, you can come over here, click on Market, and you're going to see a list of them all. Right now, the biggest ones will be Bittrex, OKEx, and Who Exchange. So let's pull back the curtain and go behind the scenes and see, is there anybody sharing Hyperfund Global? Is it actually popular right now? It's actually exploding right now. They're in massive momentum at the time of recording this video. Currently, their website is ranked 14,000 in the world in terms of the amount of inbound traffic and website visitors. As you can see here, certainly on an uptrend, and we're looking at 3.4 million visits per month. That is absolutely monumental. Here we can get a bit of an insight into where those visitors are coming from. For those of you, especially if you plan to promote this, you can see where it's really catching on and getting traction. Almost a third of the website visitors coming from the US, 1 in 5 people coming from Italy, and 1 in 10 coming in from the United Kingdom. So there's 3 separate well-established companies that fall under Hypertech Group. Those are collinstar, Blockchain Global, and hcash. Blockchain Global, for example, has successfully incubated over 300 blockchain projects, so including Tron. So these are well established. Keep in mind that blockchain projects, cryptocurrency tokens in this exploding market spend a lot of money to acquire customers, to get people's attention, to acquire token holders and build out communities, because it's an extremely noisy, competitive marketplace. So by having an upfront community builder that rewards people with passive rewards like Hyperfund, it's a good way to build that community through word-of-mouth marketing when people are incentivized to share it. So here's an organizational chart to get a visual of how this intricate web of corporate entities actually relate to each other. We've got Hypertech Group, under which falls collinstar Capital, Blockchain Capital, and hcash, as I just mentioned. And where is Hypercommunity? Where's Hyperfund in all of this? Down here we see in strategic partnerships, we've got the Hypercommunity, and then on the application layer, we've got Hyperfunds. Perhaps one of the most alluring and enticing selling propositions that you will see utilized throughout Hyperfund Global marketing materials is the affiliation with Ryan Zhu, as labeled here, the founder. He has an incredible proven track record of accomplishment that you can dive in and do your own due diligence on by simply visiting the website. But I would just like to bring to your awareness, in my decade of experience seeing these types of programs come and go, many of them will leverage the credibility and authority of somebody like Ryan Zhu. But if you dive in, the word founder can simply be somebody that invested in an early stage to get the project going, because Ryan Zhu is known for doing blanket sweeping investments of hundreds of crypto projects, just like an angel investor in Silicon Valley, to find one winner that makes up for all of the losses. But how much hands-on, day-to-day involvement he actually has in Hyperfund is questionable. So here we can see a slide that attempts to explain how they can reward up to 0.5% daily to everyone involved in the Hyperfund community. Again, it's drawn on Ryan Zhu's previous success record, and no doubt he has mined over 300,000 Bitcoin, 2 million Ethereum. They've got multiple cryptocurrency exchanges, which something like Molecular Future is listed on. That transactional volume for that will be in the millions per day. But again, how much of that capital is actually what's being distributed to that 0.5% daily? Are these operating independently, or is there any evidence that that cash flow is flowing through to these Hyperfund partnerships? There's no evidence, unfortunately, that I could find to suggest that there are any funds whatsoever coming from these external corporate entities, but I also have no evidence to prove that there isn't. And in my personal opinion, one of the simplest solutions for this is a third-party external audit by a company like Ernst & Young, an established credible authority in the space, as an auditing firm to audit the Hyperfund. That third-party audit would give people peace of mind and confidence, and I'm sure with Ryan Zhu's connections, he would absolutely be able to implement something like that. I would just like to briefly mention that they put a big emphasis on DeFi, decentralized finance, throughout their literature and their website. But keep in mind that when you contribute to Hyperfund and purchase one of those memberships, you're depositing money through a website and moving it outside of your own control. It's not on a decentralized exchange. There's no smart contract that you can look up on the blockchain to see those transactions. And in my personal opinion, that's in direct conflict of the definition of DeFi, which means decentralized, to move away from a centralized monetary control and to have it fully transparent and disintermediated from a central authority. Also, the strategic roadmap is quite sparse when it comes to information. Usually these types of roadmaps will have detailed, comprehensive outline of the timeline for the unfoldment of the project, their future projections, what they plan to accomplish, and even specific dates of listings on particular exchanges and when they're going to deploy certain projects. So let's take a quick look at the Hyper Community Compensation Plan and how it's possible for people to accelerate their rewards. So there are three main ways to earn with the Hyper Community Rewards Plan. Those are the Community Reward, VIP Reward, and the Global Reward. We'll briefly discuss each of those. First being the Community Reward. This goes back to the fact that this is a multi-level marketing distribution model, so you can potentially earn up to 20 levels deep in your organization. Some of the criteria, the requirements, are the number of direct referrals that you have. As you can see here, for example, to be earning 6 levels deep in your organization, you need 6 directs. You need 20 directs to earn 20 levels deep. Pretty self-explanatory. So here we can see the type of matching rewards that we would receive. So as an example, you refer somebody directly to you. They're generating 10,000 Hyper units per day. You're going to get a 20% match on their daily passive earnings, which is quite aggressive. If you add all of these up, that's a total of 63% payout here in these community rewards. For example, you refer someone who refers someone on and on down to your 6th level. That person's earning 10,000 a day. You get a 5% match on that. Second way you earn is through VIP rewards. This is going to be dependent on total organizational sales volume that you can see here in Hyper units. You're going to start to open up 12% match of that organizational sales volume, which is insane. The third way that you earn is through the Global Reward, which is essentially a global sales bonus pool, where they put 4% of the global sales volume that occurs on a monthly basis into a pool, and you get a share of that pool depending on meeting certain qualification criteria, and you're going to be sharing this pool with other people, whoever qualifies. So to clarify the difference between passive rewards, hyperdrive, Passive is your own personal contribution in your own membership, those tiers, the 300, the 500, the 1000, or any combination of them. Whereas the Hyperdrive rewards is what you're going to be earning from this rewards plan. 20% of your Hyperdrive rewards goes into this certified balance, which you can allocate towards those private pre-sale tokens of future projects that launch on the Hyperfund platform. Well, my friend, I know we covered a lot there. I hope you got some value from this review, something that you can take away and combine with your own due diligence. For me, I'm going to stay out of Hyperfund for right now. I would like to see some third-party audits, external validation and verification of where the funds are actually coming from to pay out those passive rewards to people in the Hyperfund community. If I saw that, certainly I would probably allocate some risk capital to this. With that said, they're in a lot of momentum right now. I can't see the doors closing anytime soon when there's that much fresh capital coming into the project on a daily basis. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel if you got value from this video, so that you can stay in the loop with future videos that I release. And be sure to join our community over at elevationguild.com so that you can take advantage of all the due diligence and research that I do to sift and sort in the marketplace and find the most pristine projects where money stays in your own control, or they've been third party validated and audited, so that you can keep your money safe, continue to grow it, and finally reach financial freedom. Take care, my friends. See you in the next video.